loves, welcome back to Carousel Techniques. So we are here with another relationship video, and today we're talking about how to be a romantic, or I suck at being a romantic. Okay, welcome to my channel if you are a new subscriber, and for all of my old supporters, I thank you just as much. Let's get started. So if you clicked on this video, either you have an issue with your person or a person, you're in a relationship or a situationship, and there seems to be some concern in the romance department. Now, if it is with yourself, we're going to talk about that shortly. However, if you have been involved with someone for some time, and this is now a concern, here's what you tell your person. Tell them, I said that if you did not have an issue with romance in the beginning and you didn't leave, you should not have a concern now. And that's that. All right, so as far as just being a romantic, so being a romantic individual is kind of like having a certain quality about oneself that not everyone has. You know, it's kind of like being an athlete or being athletic. Not everyone is athletic. So it's kind of like the same thing with being a romantic. And with not having those capabilities or being able to excel and pleasing a person, you know, it does take some level of passion and creativity. So with romance, all right, besides knowing who your person is, knowing them well, knowing what speaks their language, because that's what we're trying to do when we are trying to romanticize someone, right? Is to speak their language. But what happens when you fail and you suck at it? Here's the thing. So when we try to put on some sort of gesture, if you are not the most romantic type person, what typically happens is it comes off as just being that of a gesture. Not saying that it's not heartfelt, because more than likely it probably is, but it just comes off as just being not being special. And the reason why that is because most romantic people, they possess passion, a great deal of it. And most passionate people are very creative minded. They know how to put things together and give it that extra oomph to where it's intensified and it sticks out and you feel it, regardless how big or how small. It's just something that they possess. And to not have that, well, it doesn't have the same feel, you know, or the same look. So it just comes off as being, you know, almost as inauthentic as if you just tried. But there is a way around that, and I'll get to that in a moment. So, and you want to know, perhaps, how do I identify someone who is a romantic? So, you know, listen, if you are a romantic person, like I said, it takes being passionate. You'll know. I'm a very romantic person. Well, I wouldn't say romantic, but I am romantic. I'm very passionate. So if ever I am, you know, on a date with someone, I can tell within a couple minutes if they possess that same sort of fire, that same sort of intensity, you know, that he or she will be able to speak my language. I can tell right off. Or I can also tell, and it's not because I'm an empath. If anything, I pick up on more negative energy. I'll probably pick up on that as well, but no. And I'll be able to sense right away if this person is passionate. And the reason that is because we're both on that same wavelength. We have that same vibe. You'll be able to sense and feel their energy. Whereas if not so much, well, then it's going to feel like I'm talking to, you know, a pile of green beans. You know, there's nothing there. I'm not going to waste your time. I refuse to allow you to waste mine. Bye-bye. So that's one way to identify if someone is romantic, and you can tell within the first couple of days, depending on where you go, who makes the decisions on where you go, if they are creative minded. Okay, so we're going back to being creative. Most romantic people are very creative, and it's because they probably are talented in some way or another, maybe musically, something that allows them to use their mind a lot towards creativity. And so what we want to do is we want to find someone who speaks our language in that department. And someone who doesn't, here's an example. Let's just say I come home from work and I say, oh, my feet hurt. My feet are killing me. Someone who does not have, or is very little romantic in their being, would probably say, well, perhaps you should buy more shoes. All right, versus being more empathetic or whatever. Now, someone who is a romantic, they would probably say, hey, would you like for me to rub your feet? Or better yet, let's book a spa day tomorrow and we both can get a massage. How about that? That's right off the cuff, being creative, just coming on with it. It's also a romantic gesture. There are many ways to be romantic. So I can't stand here and say, well, if you do this, it's going to work for you. You can do something very small, something as simple as writing a note in your person's, writing a little love note, and sticking it in their pocket or their purse and letting them find it whenever they find it. And it's like, oh, wow, that's so sweet. Just little things like that, just being creative in your own way. And that's exactly what you're going to have to do. So if you lack the ability to be romantic, the key to do so is to really know who your person is, to really know what your person likes, what makes them feel good. It's really studying your person. Some people, they will go off the cuff, and I've heard this. They will do all of this outlandish thing, and it's like, okay, that was so big of you and sweet. However, it's just not something that wows me. You see what I'm saying? So it's really all about knowing who your person is. It's not what it is that you do. And you can kind of gather how your person's language is by how they treat you. That's an easy one. What do they do to you to make you feel good? Or what do they say? Do they touch? Are they more of a gift giver? That sort of thing. So if you are uncertain, especially in the beginning of any situation, just watch how your person maneuvers with you, how they are. But for the most part, my loves, you're not going to get everything you want in any relationship or dating experience. I promise you that. So what we have to realize is that we have to accept what it is that we can get. Now, if someone is giving you more of, let's say, 70% in another area, they are totally fulfilling you in other areas, well then just let the romance department, unless of course that is something that you need, kind of like myself, that's at the top of the list. There's very little negotiating there. Okay, that is what you need, because I can fulfill every other area in my life. You understand? So unless that is a top requirement, and but otherwise, if it isn't, then you kind of have to just let them know, well, you don't have a problem with this or that or that, so just give me a pass on this. I'm trying my best, whatever. And if it's an issue now, well then go find someone that's going to give you your 70% in the romance department. I mean, that's always an option, right? Yeah. Okay, my loves, so hopefully this has been somewhat informative to you. Look, everyone isn't going to be the best romantic. Everyone isn't going to fulfill you in every way that you like. We kind of have to get what we can get these days. Everything it's pretty slim and depressing even for most people, for most couples, because there's a lot lacking. But as long as it's not a major requirement for you, well then be happy for whatever it is that you have with your person. Meanwhile, okay? All right, my loves, I thank you so much for joining me today here at Kira's Love Techniques. That is all for now. Until next time.